Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It is a lovely morning for a ruck, especially full load out. All kinds of weird questions of why you got all that stuff on you. Mostly it's for training. Added weight, helps with burning more calories. It also gets me comfortable wearing the gear. Even though you've worn it before in the past, you still need to get to where it's just second nature. You know how to work around it. You got a rifle in your way and you're trying to garden or whatever you're doing, because there may come a day that you have to have it on you. Maybe not the full pack and everything all the time, but there may come a day where you have to have it on you quite often. So train. Train like you fight like you train. Oh, it was a shooting yesterday in a university in North Carolina. I believe, if I'm correct, that one person lost their life in it. It was interesting, the news reported it when they caught the guy, that he was a mostly white Asian. Mostly white Asian. It's weird how all the mostly white people are doing all the crimes. I don't know, it's kind of strange. You always have to bring race into it and have such a overt slant when it comes to that. Joe Biden in the White House is pushing the thing, in your arm thing, the juice, and not the juice you use when you go work out, which I'm not advocating for that, and I certainly don't do that. That's obvious. They're pushing for that, getting funding for a new one, because apparently the old one wasn't quite effective enough. Still too many people around. Got to come up with a new one to finish everybody off. That was a joke. YouTube censors don't take things so serious. They're also recommending people only drink 2 beers a week. You shouldn't drink more than 2 beers. I hardly drink any beer, but still. Don't you just love it when a government is so involved in your life that he tells you how much beer you can drink in a week's time? It's insane. Insane. A large earthquake over in Indonesia, big one, 7.4, something like that. There's a big hurricane apparently headed to Florida, which I know is not that unusual. You Floridians, I mean, it's a summer breeze for you. But what's interesting is that somehow a bunch of the fuel in Florida has been contaminated. So a lot of gas stations are shut down, have been ordered to shut down and not to sell the fuel in them because of this contamination, mixture of fuels, which is interesting that it's happening right as when a hurricane is coming in and people would actually be buying up and needing that fuel. There's a lot of stuff all the time going on, as you know, and I was talking to someone yesterday and they were saying how, all this that's going on and the increased likelihood that we're maybe weeks, at the most just a few months away from the dust being kicked up again and things getting crazy again, maybe crazier, maybe the final crazy. And he was saying how he's just under so much pressure to get things finalized. He says, I just feel like I need more time. I need more time, or I need a little bit more money. If I knew I had at least 6 months or at least 12 months, maybe I'd feel all right. He says, but I'm worried that I won't. I'm worried that it's going to get bad before I'm done, before I have what I need, before my family's got what they need. And I know that a lot of you feel that way. Some of you, maybe it's health. Maybe you're working on, like I've been telling you, like I've been doing, pushing yourself to get yourself healthier. And you're like, I'm not quite there yet. I just need a few more months. And I'm worried that it's all going to hit before I'm at my goal. I get it. Many of you are in that position. Many of you are at that place that you feel like you're just not ready for this to happen. And I don't know, I guess we could be hopeful, add a little hopium to our diet, and be hopeful that we have the time, or that when it starts off, that it's not just this instant onslaught. Maybe it's a slow build up and it gives us the time. I know some of you are wanting to move. Maybe you're retiring soon, or maybe you've purchased a property, or you're waiting for your house to sell. I hear it every day. You know, I get on average 200, maybe 300 or more emails a day. I don't read them all, I can't, but I try to read some of them. And I hear it. So many people asking, you know, our plans are to be in our homestead in March. Do you think we have enough time? What are we gonna do if it all hits and it locks us down and we can't get to there? You know, it's just questions like that. And I get it, I understand, and I don't necessarily have the answer. I mean, make sure you have contingency plans. You know, if your plan revolves around meeting a certain goal that you're trying to meet, and you know you're 6 months or a year away from meeting that goal, but your whole plan revolves around whatever that thing is, you better have a backup plan. You need to have a contingency plan. What if it happens and you haven't met that goal? I know that's probably not the most ideal situation for you. You know, if it's getting to a piece of property, you know, you figure that by next March you'll be on your property. Well, what do you do if it all happens in December or November and you can't get to that property? Or you're not there yet and have everything set up? What's your plan? Is your plan to hunker down where you're at? Is your plan to figure out some way to get out? You know, we don't know the severity. I mean, will it be a real lockdown where, you know, it's going to be serious restrictions of travel? We saw a little bit of that this last time, but other countries saw a lot of it. A lot of other countries, you couldn't just travel around when you wanted to. Will we see that kind of stuff? I don't know. None of us know. We just know that there is, it's obvious, okay? There's an obvious buildup. There's an obvious intensification of what's going on. And I think it would be foolish for anyone to just ignore it. It'd be foolish to just say, well, it's not going to be that bad. It may not be that bad. It's possible. We may be off. We may have all just bought into the hype and we're off, and it's not, now is not the time. I think it most likely is the time, because next fall would be too late. Next fall would be too late because, you know, you wouldn't be able to really affect the election, right? I mean, it'd have to happen really fast and late for it to affect the election. And I think a lot of people feel that part of what's going on is to affect the election. You know, you get something going, you have the first wave now, and then you have the second wave, you know, late next summer about this time again, and it's even worse. And then you can like, oh, we got to stay home, don't go to the ballot box. I mean, it would play out perfectly because it's what happened. We saw this already happen before, right? It's like they can't even change their game plan. I don't have the answers. I know it's getting to be crunch time. I mean, I feel it. If you think that myself and my family are the ultimately prepared and we're just ready to go, I mean, we are ready. But boy, I wish I had a little bit more time, a little bit more money to get certain things done that I would really like to have done before the world ends. I mean, I'm kind of jokingly, seriously saying that. You know, some people take what I say too serious. Some of those emails I tell you I get people tell me, yo, you're too sarcastic. I don't know when you're serious and when you're not. Neither do I. But really, there's so much going on, and I know it's hard on a lot of you. I know you're struggling. Money's tight. My goodness, it is tight. Groceries, My wife and I have been having a lot of conversations here lately about how we can, rearrange our food and, grocery-wise, what we buy, not what we're raising or growing, but what we're purchasing outside the home. How we can make things work. Are there other solutions, other places to shop? Because it's tight. And all the good food is what's really expensive, meaning the healthy food. We don't eat out of a box and processed and all that kind of stuff. So it's expensive. We've been trying to go directly to the farmer on things that we need to buy that we can't grow our own. We're actually talking to someone else we know that has some land that they're not doing anything with it, and trying to work out some kind of partnership using their land to produce food. That kind of stuff. I get it. Things are tight. Things aren't done. We have our little cabin, and it's not, there's things in that I need to get done. I've been so busy, and it's, how it is. The mechanic's car is always the one that doesn't run, and the plumber's house is the one that's always backed up in plumbing, and that's kind of how it is here. I'm always planning and scheduling and doing work days and stuff for other people and getting the community, because that's been here lately. My primary focus is our local community. Stuff for my own family's taking the back burner, so I get it. Point is, I know I'm rambling, but my point is I get it. You're not alone, but we can do it. My wife has asked often, actually she hasn't asked in a while because she knows the answer, but she'll ask, if it all happens today, are we ready? Are we ready enough to survive? And my answer is always, well, it'd be tough if it happened right now. There's several things that we don't have or haven't done or haven't built. I said, it'd be tough. We'll survive. We'll make it work. And that's kind of the attitude that you have to have. If you're able to make a plan. Here's the goal over here, right? Segment that plan so that, a month from now you have a goal that if something happens a month from now, you have done enough to get ready in a certain area so that even though it's not the final plan, you can make it. And then just keep increasing that. In other words, don't have your plan set up that at any point between now and 12 months, something happens, you're screwed. You just got to get to that 12 month. Do it, segment it, break it up so that you're doing things and reaching smaller goals throughout your preparedness journey. Because we may not have 12 months, probably don't have 12 months. I'd say we're looking at, things starting to heat up next month. We're almost done with this month. I'd say by the end of September, they say they're going to have that new power shot to keep you from the coffee cough ready by mid-September. So let's say by the end of September, we're going to see some things start to happen. And then October, a lot of people are talking about different dates. I'll be honest with you, I haven't kept up with it. September 22nd, 23rd. FEMA's doing their big nationwide emergency thing, October 4th. So there's lots of dates there. So I suspect by a good solid October, November, we're going to start, we will have seen and be involved in the middle of a little bit of craziness, and maybe a lot. So start making your plans that way. What can you have done in 2 weeks? What can you do this week? Make it serious. Make it a little painful. If you're struggling for your survival, that's what you're fighting for. This isn't just a hobby anymore. This isn't just some casual workout or something. This is serious. And you need to take it that way. So it may be painful. It may involve sacrifice. But what can you do this week? What can you do next week? We've all had to do that. We still do it. My family, Many of us have sacrificed a lot to get to where we're at, but we know it's worth it. And looking back, we wouldn't change it for the world. This isn't the time for sitting on the couch and discussing what you should be doing. This is a time for getting up and actually doing it. Regardless of where you are at in life, how old you are, how young you are, how inexperienced, how poor, whatever it is, get yourself prepared. We don't have much time. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.